Hi, this is Brittany, and you're watching the Living Beyond Asana vlog. And today I want to talk to you about how you may or may not be showing up on your yoga mat. Right? More specifically, if you are conforming on your yoga mat. Right? So by this I mean that it's so easy to kind of want to please the forces that be, so to speak. Right? There are so many messages right now in the world, in media and social media, on how to be, right, a particular kind of person, on how to be a better person, on how to be a thinner person, on how to be a stronger person, on how to be a wiser person, on how to be a more successful person, a more abundant person, how to grow your business, how to make more money, how to. There's so much of that. There's also a lot of messages that often can be kind of messages that condition us, right, that are steamrolled over us on what it means to be the best at something, or to be attractive, or to be thin, or body image. There's just so much information always being forced at us, and it would seem like the yoga practice is somewhere that we could go to really release all of that stuff and all of that pressure. And it definitely is, right? The yoga practice is somewhere that we can go to. The practice itself gives us an opportunity to show up as we are and fulfill whatever needs that we need in that given practice. Right? But the thing is that a lot of times when we go somewhere to practice, right, we're in a studio or a gym, we're surrounded by a lot of other people. And a lot of times, still these days, right, classes that you may attend might have a lot of people that look the same, right, have the same kind of clothing on, have the same kind of body types, have the same kind of race, right? There might be certain things that are all the same, and that might or might not be similar to what you are in any of those things. And because we are all humans and we all have an ego, right? And that ego is often judgmental and compares. And the ego is not always bad, right? But often mismanaged, right? So when the ego is comparing, when the ego is judging, and not just ours, but the people that are around us, and even the teachers, right? And there can be all of a sudden what is supposed to be a practice that allows us to come as we are, right? All of a sudden, all of these expectations are planted on us, either by our own minds and brains and egos, or even by someone else's, right? And then there can be this need to conform to match that, right? Like, I have to be the perfect yogi. I have to get these postures perfect, and I have to breathe in this way, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, right? That's a lot of times can happen, right? I see it happening. I see it happening in students where they're trying to kind of meet a criteria, whether it's a criteria that they think I have for them, or a criteria that they have for themselves, or a criteria that they think that they have to just fit in, right? And then a lot of times there's that feeling, right? There can be that feeling of I need to fit in, right? So I want you to take count of that. Right? And even if it's a studio where you feel like there's a beautiful community there, right? Like, do you feel that you can be completely who you are there? And again, it doesn't necessarily mean anyone's doing anything wrong, right? We're just all human, and we have judgments within ourselves, and we have things that we stereotype and things that we are prejudiced around, and things where we do create a separation or this feeling of needing to be accepted. Right? And again, it's a way that oftentimes we can be. You could call it a flaw, or you could call it an opportunity to get more conscious about it. Right? So I want you to consider that. I want you to consider the next time you go onto your yoga mat, are you trying to be anything other than who you are in that moment? Are you trying to fulfill a need that you feel like, or an expectation that someone else has of you? And if you are, right, you can stop, right? Because the practice of yoga asks none of that of you. You could sit on your mat, you could lay on your mat, and you could close your eyes and just breathe, and then practice. For the practice, that would be enough. Practice accepts you as you are, right? So remember that really this relationship of yoga is between you and the practice, between you and your consciousness, between you and this deeper universal wisdom that flows through each one of us, right? And I'm not saying like screw everyone else. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying what you do want to do is remember, right, where this true relationship needs to be birthed and spawned and celebrated, right? So that when you move into relationship with everyone else that you're around in a yoga practice, you can remember, right, what really matters. I mean, it's not that you have the right yoga clothes on, or that you're a certain body type, or that you match time with the teacher's instructions, even though sometimes it seems that way. And I even know that sometimes, I'm sure people think that I have an expectation of them. Sometimes I probably do. I definitely do, right? But still, no matter what anyone else is putting out there, the practice is for you. Right? And you can come into relationship with your yoga practice however you want to. So just remember that. Right? Have a beautiful week. If you have any comments about this, I would love to hear about them. You just put them in the comments below this. And I will see you next week. Peace and namaste. Light in me, bows. And light in you. And when we both recognize that light within each other, we are one. It's the meaning of namaste. Namaste.